All right, guys. Welcome. And yep, looks like it is live and kicking. So welcome, guys, who are going to come into the show here. We welcome you back. We've been away for a couple weeks, and a lot of that is on me. I've had a lot of personal things to deal with. Nothing crazy, but things have just come up. Happened to be on a Thursday night, so unable to make the show, but we are back, and man, what a great week to come back on. I'll wait for some of you guys to get up here, man, and then we'll get it started. But what we'll do first is we'll do what we normally do. Somebody said, "What's up with Mendenhall?" I don't know what that is. Maybe you're talking about Steelers talk. So
he's talking about Rashad Mendenhall. I guess they shown a clip on Twitter when he was humping. He basically humped what's the man? Roethlisberger. It was in the game. It was like some old footage or whatever, but somebody brought it up.
Oh my Lord!
It was like from years ago.
Yeah, I didn't see it, man. So
silly.
Let me just say that real quick, man. Just to be respectful to the different audiences. I mean, a lot of you guys, and I appreciate it. A lot of you guys have actually funneled over to the Sim Standard podcast because you guys are loyal viewers and followers of my Steelers stuff. But that ain't it tonight. I mean, I'll comment here and there, but we don't really talk about the Steelers or, even though y'all see the Steelers and the Lions and the Titans there in the logo, we really don't really talk about that stuff in depth until it's football season. So you'll hear Smitty and I, mention a few things, but I don't want to, dive in and answer questions about the Steelers. Oh, no, it's cool, man. It's cool. No big deal that you said that. I'm just letting everybody know what's going on. Hold on, guys, for 1 second. It's saying that Smitty, the connection, Smitty dropped off for a second, but there he is. He's back on now. I don't know what happened there. You can still hear me, right, Smitty?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Skype was bugging out for a minute. But anyway, guys, what we going to dive into tonight, y'all see it in the title. The hard truth about EA Sports and Madden NFL Football. I see people in here saying that you see the Rex interview, and yeah, we're going to talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about the Frostbite stuff. A lot of people are saying that has something to do with the problems with Madden, and I have a different opinion on that. So it's fitting that the Rex interview came out with Dubby. And there's another great video, man. I'm going to post it in the link here in the description. It's already there, but I will post it in the chat several times. We want to give a shout out to, his name is Soft Drink Sports. What a video he put together, basically showing the lack of innovation, from Madden over the years. So we want to talk about those things. Smitty, before we dive right into that, man, I know we got the NBA playoffs about to kick off. Is there anything you want to talk about really quick before we take Madden's head off?
No, I'll just say this. I'll just say this though. I mean, Pistons made the playoffs. I don't like that they did make the playoffs. I was cool with it a few weeks ago when they were looking a lot more competitive, like they really turned over a leaf. And I'm like, okay, they balling a bit. I'm cool with that. But to see how they basically just slumped, and then now Blake Griffin's hurt too. And I mean, even though he dropped a 40 piece after coming back from injury, it's like, why'd y'all make the playoffs? I mean, you're playing against Milwaukee, but you're not going to take them out. So it's like, why make the playoffs? You know what I mean? You should have just fell back, got the draft pick, not made the playoffs, especially if you're going to fall to be an A seed like that. You might as well just fell back. And plus, I seen somebody tweet this morning about our history against the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs. This ain't the same Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, so showing us when we were winning against them all them times, yeah, that was against a barely making it Milwaukee Bucks squad every time. It wasn't not these brothers. So it's gonna be we're gonna be on the other side of the pendulum on this one. So it's not gonna bode well. So, but it'll be entertaining at least. I hope it's an entertaining series. If it can at least go 6 games, hey, I would appreciate that. But all in all, man, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, man, I don't want to take too much time away from this Madden segment. Y'all know I have to do pretty much a hard stop, man, at 10 o'clock now, because of my commute on Friday. So we don't want to take too much time away. Only thing I would say really quick about the playoffs, whoa, wait, hey, yeah, my 76ers are in. Of course they are. But, hey, I'm not happy. I'm going to tell y'all, man, listen, those dudes are streaky. I'm very concerned about the defense. It's a little better, of course, when Embiid is out there, and when he doesn't play, obviously you see where they're vulnerable. I'm concerned about Ben Simmons, man. Ben Simmons has to find a way to develop at least a threat of him attempting a shot. I think that hinders us a little bit. I don't feel comfortable with them against the quality teams in the East. I'm going to just keep it real. I don't have high expectations. I think we are a talented group, especially, and, Smitty would know all about Tobias Harris. I think they're talented, with getting a guy like that. He's helping with shooting. J.J. Redick is shooting lights out, but I just don't, I don't know, man. I don't have that feeling like, oh, yeah, we're going to run the East. Nah, I don't. I think Milwaukee is definitely a team that we got to worry about. Boston, even though Boston is a little shaky here and there, I still think when it's clutch time, Kyrie gonna show up. Possibly Toronto.
I don't know. They lost Marcus Smart. He ain't gonna be in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's huge.
But I think Toronto's going to be a tough task, man. A lot of these little teams, man, that made it. One of these teams could possibly knock somebody off, one of the lower tier teams.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my quick bit. I'm going to watch. This is probably, with me being a football first type of guy and I have a love for basketball, I can honestly say this is my favorite time of the basketball season. I like watching. I get into basketball like around February when I'm really, really actively watching. And when the playoffs hit, I'm all ready. So I'm going to probably watch every game I can, especially the first 2 rounds. Because it's probably pretty much, a game is on every night. But, man, let's go ahead and dive into this thing, Smitty, man. I'll kick it off, and I'm going to try not to be so long-winded. But I just want to say a couple quick things, and then me and Smitty can go back and forth with it. Y'all know we usually don't. Well, we never really do. The Sim Standard, the remaining members, which are myself and Smitty and AzureEffect. I know you guys haven't seen Azure in a while, but listen, Azure has a tough schedule. He has the kids. He's a teacher. He's helping the youth out there. So whenever he can make it, he can. Whenever he doesn't, he doesn't. But he's still the deep fabric of the Sim Standard. And I say remaining members because, real quick, some of you guys that don't know, we started this thing a long time ago. Smitty and myself and Azure along with others, but we pretty much linked via YouTube. We all were making videos about Madden and the lack thereof. And Apex is free, Gideon Prime, whatever you guys know him as. Apex was pretty much the guy who inspired all of us to make these videos. Long story short, we all linked. Me, him, and Smitty, and Azure, and a bunch of people, even Ryan Moody at the time, and Apex, and, Versus we tried to get, just a lot of people were collaborating. And we had, probably at one time, Smitty, about seven to 8 members of the Sim Standard. And
yeah.
And one time we were going to upload a video, everybody picks a day. And,
yeah.
We created this channel, and it made a little bit of noise, but then, for whatever reason, people start turning their back on what myself and Smitty and Azure were doing, and it ended up with just the remaining 3. We pushed it forward by, when it was the 3 of us, for whatever reason, we finally got to EA, and we got into the building, became game changers, and we've been pushing the envelope ever since. We've been in there. I think Smitty and myself went down the very first time was for 13. So that would have been 2012.
2012.
June of 2012, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And that's how long we've been rocking, right?
Yep.
Fast forward to about Madden 16. We starting to see some pretty decent progress in terms of the things that most of us are asking for. Then after that, it seems like it started slowing down just a bit. Things were happening, but by this time, we understood the business of EA. Madden 17 comes out. And before that game was touched, we all was like, yo, they stay on this path, especially from what we saw in the beta. Okay, it's still going to take a little bit of time, but okay, I see the vision. Fast forward to Rex Dixon. No, not even then. Not even then. Let me back up. Again, by Madden 17, me and Smitty and Azure already seen the play. You start seeing us being, reverting back to... I'm not even going to say reverting back, because we never changed. I will say for the first couple of years, we started understanding, so our feedback and us relaying things to you guys was a little different, because now we understand. But then the frustration started creeping back in there, because we started seeing even deeper things. And for the last 2 years at least, if I'm being modest, Smitty and I have sat on this show and we have been telling y'all exactly what Rex has exposed in this interview almost every week. We have been repeatedly and it cracks me up, Smitty, because, and this ain't no disrespect, but we're gonna gloat just a little bit tonight. People sending us the messages and sending us the videos. I'm like, dog, we've been saying this. Like, why now? Everybody's like, oh my God. We've been telling y'all this from day one. Going back, say 2 years ago, we've been saying it ain't the developers, bro. It's the powers that be. We took flack about that. No, it is the developers. Oh, okay. Well, we're trying to tell you. I sat up here and I be walking that line, don't it, Smitty? I be going real close. I basically told y'all why Rex left without really telling y'all why he left. And now he comes out and he says what he has to say. But here's the kicker, Smitty. Rex still ain't say everything. It's still stuff, I will honestly say this right now. It's stuff that I still know that I'm not going to share. Unless he does.
Mm-hmm.
But you got the gist of the problem. All of the stuff that he said in that interview, repeatedly being shut down, repeatedly saying, look, man, I think the focus, and round of applause real quick, man, to Smooth for the donation.
That's the second donation already right there. Donated $2 earlier as well, so shout out to you, Smooth. Appreciate that, man.
Shout outs to Smooth, man. We definitely appreciate that. Definitely. So yeah, man, I mean, everything we've been telling y'all, they got great ideas. They get shut down. Mm-hmm. It's that in a nutshell. And I think I'm so glad that it's starting to expose itself, and now it's creeping into the competitive scene. Because here's another thing. All these last couple years, who we been fighting with the most? Competitive players.
Yeah, comp guys. Yeah.
Saying, oh man, yo this, yo that. And now look.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all starting to see it for what it is. And then I'm going to tie it into this right here, guys. I'm going to post... No, this is the wrong one. Let me grab this video. Well, it's in the description. If you guys see it, it's a link in the description under where the topics are. Let me grab it real quick. Check out this video from Soft Drink Sports.
Yes, please.
That's fully exposing the horrendous lack of innovation for Madden and franchise and even just gameplay.
Yep.
But guys, it's just this simple. I can co-sign everything that Rex said in that video.
Oh, let me say this right now. J Tough is making a point, because I know people are always going to ask that. When is the deal with the NFL up? Look, other companies, even Rex said it in the interview, but you got to understand, that's why Rex got in trouble when he said it back. Remember E3 2014, I think it was? Yeah, when Madden 15.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, come at me, bro. 2K, invest in the license. Let's get it in. Like, he caught flack for that. He caught flack at the office for that because he wasn't supposed to say that. They can get involved. That's the whole thing. Other companies can get involved. If they really do want to make an NFL licensed game, they can. But the thing is, like what Rex said, and we've said it here before, but the cost. And I mean, even my man, we spoke to, and I mean, it's pretty cool to say it now. It's okay. When we spoke to Ramon Russell, we saw him. He came into the Madden booth, and for those that don't know who he is, that's like the main community guy over MLB The Show. And we either Sim or myself asked. I think Sim asked him, but Sim, we asked him. He was like, "Yo, why won't Sony get involved, get in the mix and make a game?" They're like, "Man, it costs too much." Pretty simple. It's too much cost.
Straight up said that. Man, that thing costs.
Yeah. You're like, it costs too much, man. So it when and that's like what Rex has said. He's like, for the cost of the license, for the cost to get the license, for and then you got to invest in dev teams, then you got to build an engine, then you got to do all of that. You talking about a lot of money you putting up front before you even get started. So that's what I'm saying. Like, these companies don't want to necessarily do that. Look where 2K is sitting at right now. They chose to invest in wrestling. They chose to invest in they made. I mean, clearly they invested in the NBA. They put up a little over $1 billion for to extend their partnership several years with the NBA because they're in a good spot. And it's the same thing with Madden. They're in a good spot with the NFL. So because of that, they're not gonna go ahead and be like, "Oh, man, you know what? Let's scratch this and just jump in." No, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. So while I wish they would, I would love to see Sony. I would love to see Sony and 2K both get in the mix, but they're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So they're in their own spaces. It sucks, but that's what they're gonna do. So
it's crazy.
Go ahead, Sam.
Nah, man. We could definitely just dive deep into this conversation, man. I want you guys to pay attention to some of the things that were said in that interview, and if you didn't see it, through Dubby or listen to it there. I mean, Eric Rayweather did basically a chop up of it, and he pointed out a lot of the key factors, but the most damning thing that we heard, which we already know, mind you, this is what I'm saying, we've been knowing this, is that when an executive told Rex, "Stop coming in here talking about all those fixes. What can I sell?" And let me tell y'all this again. It's more to that story. Okay? It's deeper than that. And shout outs to Eric, man. That Eric is in the building in here. Guys, go check him out, man. Great content he does over there. Him and myself, we actually met at an event. I believe it was last year. We was both sitting there chopping it up at Texas Day, Brazil. Tan all the good meat up. Good dude, man. Very, very good dude. But what I like about Eric, man, and we've talked about him on the show here before, he takes a certain approach to what he does, and he's a YouTuber, right?
Let me tell it. Hold on. Let me say it while he's in here too. Let me say this.
Yeah.
I ain't got a problem, and I want this to be clear. I don't have any issue with his content, but let me tell you what it is. He's basically showing y'all how to break the game, and then this is the kicker. He talks about how the game is broken in other videos. So it's like tip video this, tip video that. He's showing you how I'm saying it in a loose term, but still, he's showing you these tips that the ebook stuff that people play, how people like to play this game. They like to play this game very unnaturally, and the thing is, it's not Eric's fault. That's just like the point we've made many times over on this show too. When we talk to Gibbs files and all that stuff, it's like, this is the game they give us, so this is the way we have to play it. So when we see the glitch play this, the money play that, the exploit here, and this, that, and the third, that's like, hey, that's the hand they dealt us. So we have to work with what we got until they make it better. Until, if they alleviate this stuff, then now we have to play more X's and O's. Now we got to be more about that strategy. Because, see, thing is, real talk, Eric, we've had discussions and stuff like that. My man Eric, he goes in on the game, dude. He wants the game to be a heck of a lot better than what it is. But he's got to work with the hand that he's dealt, just like we do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's always a wild thing whenever it is I look at the stuff that he, when he breaks things down, like he's making valid points, but it's like he's showing y'all without necessarily saying it directly, like, yep, here's gain yards every time, instant, get this many sacks, become great overnight, all that stuff. And it's like, if a game is supposed to be challenging and all those different things, there is no getting great overnight. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is because and this goes right in hand with what Rex is saying too. What the directive that's being given, then you have Rex and you have Clint and you have Skint and you have all these football-minded people, A-Dub and all that stuff, but what they're being told to give us is not the package that we should have. That's why when I see videos like Ray, it's not something like, man, I can't stand him because he's showing these kind of videos. It's like, no, it's like, all I can do is throw my hands up like, yo, this is a package though.
Yeah.
This is what they giving us, so it's like, you can't get mad at it. So I can only congratulate him. I'm like, this man is showing y'all how to basically break this game, and then he occasionally does videos where he actually talks about how the game is broken. Like,
yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. It's like I'm subliminally showing it to you. Now I'm gonna talk about it. Like, it's, man, but I commend him on what he's been doing. You know what I mean? So, like, keep it going, keep it trucking. He did a great job, and even with pointing out the stuff about the Rex interview, bullet pointing things and breaking it down in his own way. I started listening to it. I didn't listen to it all yet, but it's a good listen. Listen to the interview. Listen to that interview if you haven't. And then, by all means, if you need to follow up or need to listen to a summarized version, you can listen to what Ray Weather put out as well. So, but go ahead, Sim, man.
Classic stuff, man. And I wanted to give a quick round of applause. I believe it was Chris Thomas. We appreciate the donation, man. And somebody hit me up on Twitter. It might be the same person, because I know not everybody is crazy like me and got the same name for everything. But if you want to come on the show, man, we'll reserve that for later on if we get time. We'll allow guys to come on. We don't want it to go in so many different directions tonight. But if we get time, we'll definitely get some of you guys on. But yeah, just to comment again on what Smitty said. That's what I like about what Eric does, man, is because here's the other side of it. And this is what I always try to educate people on, because people always try to poke fun at stuff that they don't understand. Listen, Eric is in the business of being an informing person on YouTube. That's what he does. That's his lane. So what cracks me up sometimes is I see people from our community that'll be like, oh man, I can't, listen, this, at the end of the day, this is a business. Whether y'all know it or not. For YouTubers, it's a business. So why wouldn't he do things that he know he's going to get viewership? But at the same time, what I like about what Eric does, he doesn't shy away from, this is a problem. And that's what I'm saying. Because there's plenty of people out there that are blind, completely blind to all the problems in the game. Those people I can't rock with. Anybody who is willing to point out the flaws and all of that is cool with me, and he does it all the time. But like Smitty said, it's funny because then what a lot of people don't even realize is then he'll turn around and show you like hey, well, here's how you can get the most rush yards. Here's the best defense. He's still being informative while still saying what's wrong with the game. I have no issues with that. Because, people in this Madden community will always try to pit people up against each other. Oh, man, did you see what so-and-so said? Oh, did you see what so-and-so's doing? You shouldn't listen. You shouldn't. I'm like, y'all are crazy. We all got the same goal. Everybody has the same goal at the end of the day. And I told y'all that a long time ago. Some of the top competitive guys want the same thing that we want. But every now and then, you'll get your Volta Rex type of guys in there that, they just hopping on a new wave. That's going to happen with anything. But again, man, getting back to what Rex was saying, just think about that for a moment. The man basically told him, stop coming in here with this football stuff, with the fixes. We can't sell that. And how long have me and Smitty been telling y'all, man? How long have we been telling y'all right here on this show? It is above the devs. Way above the devs who make these decisions. These guys in the building as far as developers, your Clints of the world, Ben Harmiller, John White, A-Dub, Scanterberry, Rod, Will Sykes. I mean, mad people that I could just keep naming and naming and naming. These guys want real football. Even Moonlight Swami. Shout outs to Swami.
Yep.
Swami wants the deepest franchise mode of all time. But hey, if you got people above him saying, well, that's not the most marketable. Well, we're not going to spend time and resources in that. No, instead, we're going to do long shot. And that's something else Rex said. But it should have been blatantly obvious, Smitty. Remember in the interview I did with Rex, you should have clearly been able to see his displeasure in long shot. And it's funny because I can tell y'all this story now. After that interview, I talked to Rex and he was like, man, I couldn't really say what I wanted to say about long shot. I said, I know. See, me and Rex had a good rapport, man, a good chemistry where some of y'all picked up on it. I always knew how to get Rex to talk. Just enough for you guys to kind of know what he really feels. But I would stay away from, trying to just be blatant with him and make him say stuff that I know he shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, because I cared about Rex. I care. And Rex is, let me tell y'all another thing about Rex. Just like to come at me, bro. Rex a passionate dude, and Rex will say some stuff he ain't supposed to say. He will definitely do that. And shout outs to Jump 2 Raw, man. Here y'all go with the donations, man. Round of applause.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, Raw.
Yeah,
you already know what it is.
That dude Rex, man, y'all have no idea. Like I said, it's still things that, I can't share because, again, I don't do this just to do it. I don't report stuff just to say, oh, I said it first. Nah. Unless he's able to say, yeah, you can go ahead and talk about some of these things that me and him have had conversation on off air, you're not going to hear it from me. But I think you guys were able to get the gist of it just listening to the conversation he had with Dubby. And it makes, again, let me say this, Smitty, and then I'll throw it to you. I want y'all to keep remembering what I have been saying for the last few months. This is the reason why I will not be surprised if a SimFBallCritic, and I would love to include Smitty and Azure, but I'm going to just speak on my behalf because who knows, it might just be me. I can definitely foresee a situation where my services is not necessarily welcomed anymore.
Oh, Dez.
Oh, Dez coming. Man, Dez. Round of applause.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, brother, on the donation, the $5 donation, man. Appreciate that greatly, brother.
Yeah, man, just to give you guys an update, I'm doing a better job of keeping track of this stuff on Thursday, man. Finally got me and Smitty squared away, so going forward, we're going to try to track this thing. And actually, just a side note, maybe I'll say that later, but I think there may be a better way to do this as far as the donation thing because YouTube, swallows your donations. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So I think there's a better way to do it. We'll talk about that later. Smooth again, man, coming in here.
Dog.
I've been experimenting with some other stuff, man, on the Steelers podcast, so we'll talk about that later. I don't want to dive too far into the donation thing, but I think there may be a better way to donate to myself and Smitty and individually and make sure that we are getting the donation. It's not you, because you guys would not believe. Eric probably knows. YouTube chops your head off in those donations. I mean, yikes, the percentage is crazy. But anyway,
now I see why people use Patreon.
Listen.
Yeah, I see why.
What I've been doing is on the Steelers thing. I just started it this past Sunday. I got a Cash App and I got a PayPal, and I just tell people, look, I have 3 different ways for y'all to do it. And y'all know me. I'm not the type of guy, man, that I don't like asking for stuff like that. I just say, listen, if you want to donate, great. But I've given those folks over there options, and it's working a little better because, for example, that $9.99 will probably end up being like $4 or something. It's crazy. Crazy. But all right, man, let's get off of that. I forgot even what I was saying, man, about what was I saying? Do you remember, Smitty?
Oh, man. No, it threw me off with the donation.
Something about...
Y'all remember what we were saying? Like, let us know in the chat and what Sim, the last thing he was saying before... Dang.
I can't remember, man.
I can't remember exactly what either. Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it was something about Rex, and I was saying, let me say this before I forget. Oh, here we go. This is what I was saying. I can speak for myself, but I think I'm going to go ahead and include Smitty and Azure in there anyway, even though I said I wouldn't, because we all the same. I can foresee it, man. I can foresee at some point the opinions of Sim, Azure, and Smitty is not as welcomed anymore. Maybe we're not necessarily the model game changer. Because listen, especially after what just dropped, by Rex dropping this info, I'm going to keep preaching this too. Azure has been saying this for 3 years now. Now we got to get to corporate. We got to get to corporate.
He said it more than 3 years.
Way more.
Yeah.
But, if we're being modest.
Yeah. Being right. Yeah.
We got to get to corporate. It ain't got nothing to do, and we have conquered the dev level. And my concern is, just speaking again, I'll say this part for myself. I can't be a part of something, right, that is blatantly not moving in the direction I want it to move in. And that's why I keep saying Madden 20 is so key and important to me. Because if I see this thing just being stagnant and it's still stuck, and I don't see no improvement, where I'm talking the core stuff now. I'm talking about untethering players. Oh, that was another thing, Smitty, that was said in the interview. You heard what Rex said, and we knew this, but now that you guys know, when he said that corporate people wanted to make the game easier and they wanted everybody to be able to compete.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And Rex said he knew right then that he messed up and there was an issue after Madden 16, seeing how people can just hold buttons and like NYKia has been saying here lately, the return to the super linebacker. And look at, even when you play the computer, you ever notice you try to throw an out route? And I mean, you got the corner beat. The man, his back is turned, everything. You throw it perfectly. Number one, you can't throw it in the right spot. Because if you press too far over, it's going out of bounds. If you try to do it lightly, it's going to throw it right behind your receiver. And then the defender is going to just warp into position. All of these things were made possible because they want to make the game easier. If I don't see a change, Smitty, with things like that in 20, untethering the ball and the player and the interaction and the dice roll, and if I don't see that physics is overpowering more of these situations, man, listen, I can't fool with that. I mean, I'll be down just for the sake of, okay, yeah, he's a game changer. But as far as like really worrying about it, like at this point, I'm done, man. I mean, I'm like, y'all got to show me something now. You got to show me something, because now the ugly is coming out. So you got to save face in Madden 20. And somebody asked me, man, do I think we should boycott? Listen, we can say that until we blue in the face. Smitty and I both know that y'all don't follow that. And I'm saying y'all, it's a general classification. People don't follow that. People still buy it. People are gonna still. I guarantee you that the boycott would never happen, because people can't help but to buy the game, right? For whatever reason that they do. But
there it is, right there. Like what Eric said, casuals won't boycott. You have to do something like extremely just monster, okay? Just like what Star Wars Battlefront did. Like that was some. Can you guys believe they're charging us extra money like that just to play with these characters? You mean if I'm going to play this game for free, I mean, not for free, but if I'm going to freely grind, you're telling me I got to put in 40, 50 hours? What? Oh, no, I'm not buying that. Like, see, a casual will get mad at that. You see what I'm saying? A casual player and a diehard player will both get mad at that. Mm-hmm. If you said, now, do something like that with Madden Ultimate Team. Put some egregious numbers out there. Put some egregious goals out there. Oh, yeah. They'll get upset then. But as we know, even when you play Madden, when you play the beta, that like when they do betas, you're not playing the whole game. So you don't have all, you're not playing everything as it's going to be at launch. See, that was the mess up with Battlefront. You got to play and experience it. And it was built in, we see these dudes being money hungry. Still, we're not buying this game. We're going to mess them up. It's different with Madden. So, it's post-launch. When the game launches, people going to go ahead. They already going to they're going to play it anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go ahead and buy it anyway. So that's where the difference comes in. But, and guys, understand the boycott thing, kill it. Kill it. just leave it alone. It's not. I disproven. Look, one thing with some of these sports gaming communities. Okay, at the end of the day, their bark is way bigger than their bite. They don't have any conviction. That's the main thing about these sports gaming communities. They all lack conviction. They are not seriously going to step up and be like, I'm not buying this game because that's not right. They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, you know what? That's jacked up. I hate Madden. I hate EA. I hate everything they stand for. All the devs could just die. I got my pre-order for Madden 20. I bought the Super Bowl Deluxe Edition where I could buy my packs and bundles, and they're gonna do that. That's literally what's going to happen. So it's going to happen in droves, man. That's at the end of the day. That's literally how it's going to be. And same thing, you see people on Twitter get mad all the time. Guys like ScoMo and all that stuff and Toke and everything. They got all these things to say bad about Madden. But then, what are they doing? Go to their YouTube channel. Yo, I bought these new bundles. There's a brand new program out. Come on. They're not about to just stop. They're not about to tell you not to mess with it. Of course they're going to keep messing with it. They're going to keep playing it and playing it and playing it and dropping the extra coin on top of the 60. That's just the way to, and those are, and see, the thing is, those aren't casual guys. But the casual people look at those people. So when they see them bash Madden, they're with them. But then when they go buy the game too, on top of it, they going to rock with them anyways. Mm-hmm. So that's it. That's literally it. So, but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sim. I don't know, you were saying something. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, hey, that's exactly where I was going with it. It's like, it sounds cute, man. Just like back in the day when there was that petition for bringing 2K football back.
Yeah.
And I mean, man, the support was so minimal. Just, and here's another thing. What else did Rex say? The effort that it would take for another company to get back into the race and compete is just too much. He said and then he said what we've all been saying. Absolutely, the approach would be different if there was competition. That's what we've been saying all along. You notice when me and Smitty always say, listen, let's stop giving them a pass and saying it's only because of MUT. No, it ain't. Because FIFA don't have that problem, and FIFA makes more money. But FIFA has pairs there.
Let me say this too real quick.
Yeah.
Guys, currently on this video, please hit that like button. There's 64 people watching and we got 12 likes. Get that, smash that like button as well. We would greatly appreciate that, man. Smash
share
that thing.
Share it out too.
Share that out too. Share it out too. Because we just want to make sure this is supported and spread out as much as possible. That virtual word of mouth is greatly appreciated, especially if you're on different other social media platforms and everything. We would vastly appreciate that. All right, so we'll go ahead, continue. Go ahead, Sim.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man, when you really think about, you know, how, like that other video, you know, the soft drink sports, how my man was saying it's a lot of excuses that some people will give for Madden. Yes, of course, you know, MUT plays a role in it, and Rex said as much as far as, okay, the corporate, they just want to know what they can sell. Obviously, I mean, it's still a business. But MUT, to me, is not the reason why they can't improve. They just don't choose to do it.
Exactly.
If you really think about it, MUT should be the reason why they do improve. They're making a killing. But, again, and y'all thought I was crazy. I've been saying this for a long time now. It's EA Tiburon. It is Tiburon. EA Canada don't have this problem. It's Tiburon. And Rex basically told y'all, look, man, I was like, look, man, either y'all allow me to do it like this or I got to go. And he left. Because he knew. And then some people, I know some people going to try to say this. Well, man, why did everybody else stay there then? And then, man, it's a job. That's how they feed their family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look, this is a point that I will say this. If there was another game, if there was another football game being made, AAA, let me make that clear. If it was another AAA football title, if Sony was making one, if 2K was making one, or whomever, you think all those guys would still be there at EA? Some people would, but at the same time, some of them cats would jet because they're not able to honestly they can't carry out their visions and everything like that. And they can look. You got Scott OG that used to be there at EA, goes over there to 2K. You think some of them cats won't? You think some of those guys don't stay in touch with each other? What if that opportunity was there? They'd be like, man, yo, the streets is sweet over here. Come on. You know what I'm saying? You actually got ideas and everything, and they actually will let you implement them. They actually hear you out. And you know what? Some stuff actually gets passed through. You see? So, you see, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like what Sim's saying, like what we're getting at here, man. We've said for the longest dang on time, and we've said it and said it and said it and said it. It's not the devs. Hey, I said what I said to freaking Prime before he went to the studio. Them dudes, I listen to NLVC and those guys, and they'd be like, man, they would name dang near every feature Live virtually had, and they'd be like, oh man, they should be able to do it all. And it's like, bruh, I wish it was that way. But I'm telling you, it's not. It's not that they can't do it, and it's not that they don't want to get the game in a much, much better space. The problem is that either they're bottle capped with resources, They're very limited with resources. They're very limited with the dev team. You got Mike freaking Mahar, dude from what was it, Fright Night Champion, spearheading the dang on project. You think he don't know how to make a good game? He knows how to make a dang on good game. Them cats gotta invest. EA gotta invest in the dang on team. Invest in the team, give them what they need so they can be successful. Of course they ain't gonna get it in 1 year, but you gotta give them the resources to do it. You gotta get them to do it. Like, look, here you go right here. Real world. The Houston Rockets, before the season started, right? You took Golden State 7 games, right? 7 dang on games. If it weren't for Chris Paul going down, it's very possible. Well, and also they put up 27 threes and missed them, so that played a role too. But the bottom line is, it's very possible you could have took them boys out. Why not go back? Why not run it back? Let's keep that team together and go again. What did ownership say to the GM of the team? I want to resign Trevor Ariza. No, he wants too much money. Dude, for what he can possibly bring us, dude, for the defense he could give us and the shot he got, he could help us out. Nope, too much money. You're going to have to figure something else out. And then what did they end up doing? They got Carmelo Anthony and Brandon Knight, and they made the trade. They traded him to Phoenix and got all them extra players that really ain't do much of anything. That's right there. That right there. Now, fortunately, the season panned out for him. But just think, what if they never had to get rid of Bahamute and Ariza? What if they had those pieces on their team and they have another year of that team gelling together going throughout the whole entire season instead of it being a whole different squad? Once again, you got the GM that says, duh, it ain't rocket science. We got the team. Let me keep this team together and let's make a run. Ownership says, no, I don't think so. But no, that's the logical thing. But no, I'm not gonna pay. I'm not giving you the resource. I'm not giving you the resources that you need to do your job that I hired you to do. See what I'm saying? That's literally it. Rex said, and I know I was talking about live, but this is what Rex basically said. W asked him, heck, if you had the plan, what would you do? Oh man, I would work on the core. I'd work on this. I'd do this. I'd fix that. I would do this. I would take the time out. I would take a year and do this, that, and the third. If he could do it, you hired the man to do it. So why the heck you ain't let him? Andrew freaking Wilson told him as soon as Rex was trying, like what Sim was saying earlier, when Rex was starting to give his spiel and say, oh man, what I want to do fundamentally, man, first, let's talk about this offensive line. Let me stop you there. No.
You talking about football?
Yeah, no, let me stop you right there, buddy. No, let's talk about what's the shiny bell and whistle. Man. What's that you're going to bring to the table? That's what I want to hear. That's all I care about. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing about no. I don't want to hear it. Just that. He found out. See, when you say that, and Prime Philly, you can speak to this. NBA Live people could definitely speak to this. When you hear Rex say something like that, you just get cut right off. Man, I got this game plan for how I want Madden to pop. And then you just get cut off in your tracks and say, give me that bullet point feature, and that's it. That right there is exactly why when Mike Wang, when he did that interview, and he was like, as soon as I got to EA and started to find out how things were, I messed up.
He bounced. Yep.
I was stuck. Now I feel stuck. Dang, I made a mistake. I should have never came here. See what I'm saying? As soon as that right there makes me believe when he went in that room and talked to the people and made them points. As soon as he started to make them points, oh, wait a minute, no. What's the shiny new whistle? Oh, you're gonna put gear in the game? Yeah, that's it. No. What about basketball? I came from 2K. Where we do basketball all day, it's fundamentals, it's ball tangibility and everything. What are you talking about shoes? And stuff. I mean, I'm just picking something random here, but you know, that's the point though. And see, that's the problem. That's what, look, how, if you sit down and have one conversation with A-Dub, I've had multiple, me and Sim.
Oh man.
Multiple. If you have conversations with that brother right there, how in the world you gonna come away from that and be like, this dude don't know about making zones. This dude don't know nothing about no zone play. Yeah, right. That dude is a genius. That man is a coach. That man is a coach. He is a coordinator. Okay? That man knows what time it freaking is.
Yep.
You wouldn't be able to tell that by the way the product come out. And see, that's why it's like it's like in my mind I'm thinking, you know what? I could only imagine if Rex and the crew were able to actually fix those issues that they really needed to fix and then innovate. I could only imagine how zone play would be. How would tackling be? How would the O and D line interact with each other? Would we even still have these 2-man animation sequences right now? I see, that's stuff that we don't know because we don't know what the problem is. Listen, we know they're on old code and it's an old code base. We only got so many resources. We only got this, we only got that. We understand that. But the thing is, and when I say this, I'm not saying this to get at a dev. It's got nothing to do with devs. This is at EA. The novelty of that is dead. It doesn't, I don't care. You have to deliver the game, bro. You have to deliver the quality product. You got the resource. You cleared over $5 billion in revenue. I ain't hearing you ain't got the money to do it. You have the resources. I don't care how many years you need to take. Get yourself, hire some folks and put them on a dedicated team and fix Madden. Fix that stuff. Man, we can't do it in one cycle. They need to give y'all the resources so that way you have people that are working on the game continuously or working on those core problems, and it's like, this year we got this far. Next year we got that far. Now we got it. And now, boom, these 2 years, you see a little progression, but you have those issues. It doesn't happen as much. You see it happen in year 2. It's happening less now, but it still ain't really over the hump. Year 3, bang! You just got the now Madden's off the chain. Dang, how did this game get off the chain? Remember them issues that was going on for over 30 years? Yeah, they put a team together and did it. Now they was able to get it done. That's what you have to do. That's what has to happen when it comes to when it comes to fixing the game and getting the game where it needs to be at. A-Dub is a genius, and I've said this on the show before. How come, just like, look, you will literally see Czar fire up a stream. Yeah, so-and-so updated their offense and defense. Let me show y'all. And he fires up the stream. He's just telling it. Showing you what it is. On his own time, whenever. Why can't A-Dub do that? Why can't A-Dub go on and just show us the retail game and just be like, oh, let me go over cover 4. Let me go over these match concepts with you. The game has got these problems with zone coverage and everything. Like it's a litany of problems going on there, and it would make A-Dub look like he don't know what he's doing. But he does know what he's doing. I mean, that man he knows what he's doing. Okay? Clint knows what he's doing, knows what he's talking about. They have a plethora of people that are very knowledgeable in that building. Men and women alike. They know what to do. They just have to be empowered to do it. They can't do it if the powers that be, aka executives, bosses, all that good stuff, if they don't let them do the job, it won't happen. That's it. There would be nothing I would love more to do than to blame A-Dub for something. than to blame Clint and be like, man, you know what, you slipped up here when this, that, and the third. I can't blame them though, nah. Because I know what the problem. We know where the problem is, and the thing is, even they've said it. They've said it with us in building. You know what I'm saying? They be like, man, look, y'all got to speak. Y'all got to tell it. And the thing is, we only have so much reach. We don't have a huge reach, but nevertheless, we still speak it. That's why when we see this stuff and me and Sim and AZ, we're all up here like, oh, we told y'all that a long time ago. We've been told you this stuff from Rex. Yeah, this is the situation, because it doesn't make sense. And look, just like I brought it up here multiple times, and I'll throw it to Sim after this. Brian Moody went to the studio. How does somebody go to the studio and come back saying, you know what, they know what to do? Came out all questioning, I don't know. These guys don't know what they're doing. First, he was buying into the notion, Sim and Smitty ain't going to be the ones to ride. I'm going to be the one that's going to ride on your behalf. Okay, all right. I can't wait till you come back. I can't wait. And then he comes back. You know what? These guys know what to do. They know exactly how to do. Imagine that. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it to take shot. It's reality. We went to the studio and we was like, man, look, man, I'm gonna make some points. I don't know what these guys are gonna do or how they're gonna come off with it. And the thing is, they told us every freaking thing. We still don't have a legitimate challenge system in the game. Our good dude, Sean Grady. Heck, see, he's line producer or one of the seniors or whatever over there. Senior producer for the game. And he said, oh yeah, the penalty system, I know y'all talked about that. Not penalty system, but the challenge system. I know you guys talked about that. Trust and believe, we're going to get it there. Okay, just trusting us. You know, it's going to take us a moment, but we're going to get it there. It's going to take us some time, but we're going to get it. That's 2012. You see what I'm saying? And he's a senior producer. There are people above their pay grade. He can't make that call. It's like he wants to make the call, but he can't. He still has to answer to somebody else. And that's Rex. And that him and Rex. That's the part of the reason why he left was because of him moving. Sean, when he found out Sean moved over to live, he was like, man, I can't rock if you don't rock. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why he left. He said in the interview. So, see, this is what I'm saying. These guys know, okay? These guys know what to do, and they would love to build the system out that needs to be there, man. Seriously, that video from old boy. Listen, watch that. Okay.
Oh yeah, let me post it again.
Yeah, I already got dudes going up against what I'm saying. When I brought it up to some folks, and they already going against. I can't believe, like, let me see here. Because I had some remarks here. I got some message remarks here.
Smitty living in the past.
Let me see. Yeah. He said, this is what somebody told me, basically. When I showed them the video, they basically told me, it said, sounds like he needs to play Fortnite. If he's that unhappy that he prefers 2K5, at the end of the day, it's still a game. If anyone despises it that much, just play something else. Please tell me who else is making a AAA football game this year? Who? And you come with that garbage. That's the nonsense. That's the problem. People say some crap like that, man.
Look at them comments in there.
That's the kind of stuff that cracks me. I know that's the stuff that cracks me the heck up. Are you seriously kidding me? Oh, just play something else. Dude, we want to play football. This brother right here said, I came from playing GameCube Madden. GameCube! He said, I ain't even touched next gen yet. My first installment was going to be Madden 19. And he goes ahead and play Madden 19. He's like, man, this game got so much less than what I had on these old consoles. Man, I'm good. That's what I'm saying, man. You got this is the battle. This is the battle that we be talking about, man. It's gotta be better than this, man. It's not acceptable to okay. It's not acceptable to keep all right. It's not acceptable to keep having this kind of situation still happen at this point. Still making these kind of points. Oh man, I don't know why people building their hill on 2K. Oh, I don't know why they because it factually is doing something better than Madden now. Show me a post-game show in Madden that's better than 2K's. Please show me. I will gladly wait. Please. I want to put 2K5 down. I don't want. Matter of fact, you know what? You know something. You know something. I'll say. I know this is. I know I sound like I'm just ranting here a little bit, but it's. But at the same time, I'm throwing some valid points in here too. Guys like King Havo, it's jacked up that he went so far to make a dang on editor for APF. That's a Madden player right there. That ain't no 2K gearhead or nothing like that. That's a Madden player. And he's playing this game and he's like, man, this game ain't it. So what's he going to do? Oh, I'm going to keep playing this 2K then. I'm just going to find ways to, keep prolong the longevity, to prolong the life. Come on, dog. It doesn't make sense. You are not going to see me or Sim. Or matter of fact, you ain't going to see basically nobody come up here and say NBA 2K5 is better than NBA 2K19. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see people say, well, I mean, unless it's personal preference, that's a whole nother thing. But I'm just saying, from a factual standpoint, you're not going to see anybody come up here and say, what's what was I going to say? You're not going to see anybody come up and say, yo, the association mode in 2K5 way better than what we got in 2K19. Are you serious? Really? When it comes to replicating player movement and animations and player differences and everything else, oh, NBA 2K5 way better than 2K19. Are you serious? You gotta be kicking me. You gotta be kidding me with that. That's not happening at all whatsoever. You're clinically insane if you try to come up and say 2K5 basketball is better than 2K19 basketball. I can validly show you how a 2005 production a 2004 production by Electronic Arts Madden does things better than 2019. I mean, well, 2019. Than Madden 19 right now. I shouldn't even be able to do that. That is embarrassing. And the only thing that's being brought up is, oh, well, well, if you feel that way, you should just not play the game.
Man,
if you feel that way.
That drives me crazy, man.
That's not the answer you give. That is not acceptable.
That's corny.
Extremely corny. You can't come with that. You got to be way better than that. That is not acceptable. See, that's the kind of stuff right there. That's why at times when it comes to me, Sim, and other people interacting with some people, we don't say much. We don't say much because these kind of fickle answers that we get and stuff like that. Sometimes when people say things back, it's like, are you freaking kidding me with what you're saying right now? It doesn't make no sense what you're saying. I'll just play something else. My man did a 23-minute video where he literally shown you pass trajectories that don't exist in Madden. Right now, they don't. They existed on Gen 2, though. They did. But they don't exist now, though. Come on, man. Come on. It's got to be better than this, man. That's why Madden 20, look, just like I said about Live the other day, Madden 20 better slap. I'm telling you, boy, if Madden 20 don't slap.
It has to. It has to.
I'm telling you. I'm gonna make my little feedback vids and fix, and I hope they do this, that, and third. But after that, you're just gonna see me playing 2K20 all year. If NBA Live don't slap, 2K20 all year. That's it. I'm not gonna sit up here and waste my time. I'm not gonna sit up here in front and act like, oh well, I guess I'll just keep on playing. I guess I'll trudge through, and no. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing it with this one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing it. And I mean, listen, we get the game. I mean, we usually get the game for free. You know what I mean? We get a code, whatever, and we get the game for free. But even if I were to buy it, look, I critique the game. So of course I'm going to purchase it. You know what I'm saying? Whether I buy the game brand spanking new or if I get it used or whatever, I'm still going to buy the game because I need to know what the heck is going on. You know what I'm saying? I need to know. But what I'm saying is that as far as me giving it longevity and really putting all kinds of time into it, I'm not going to give it that kind of time. I'm seriously not going to give it that kind of time. It has to hit. Seriously. I hope that this game, the way it performed to a degree, has been a big time wake-up call, or a wake-up call of some sense internally at EA. Let these devs work and make the game the way it needs to be made, man. Seriously. Like, the whole game, and yeah, just like what Marquis said and what Kia is saying, the core integrity of the game cannot be compromised real quick. Like, first title update, game is gone. RPM, you kidding me? I could bust out PS2 Madden. Much better respect to momentum and player movement in general in that game. Run animations, please. It's a laughing joke.
Oh man,
those animations smoke what's in Madden right now.
Oh
please.
Man,
come on, dog. Don't even try me with that. See, these are facts. Somebody got a problem. If somebody wants to sit up here and challenge what we're saying, load up. Please load up. Please show us how Madden, please, especially after my man putting this video out, please, because some people actually have the audacity to say that I don't know if Madden should do anything in depth with CFM because people can't already handle it. It's too complicated.
Oh my God.
Are you seriously kidding me? Are you kidding me? People don't feel my league this year. They're upset with it. If you don't go man, MLB The Show ain't do that much this year. People upset, yes, because they set a standard. Madden ain't set no standards yet. They set a standard with baseball gaming, gameplay, mode depth, etc. When you do that, they expect you to up it every single year, and when you don't, you ain't done nothing. You see what I'm saying? Now you ain't done nothing. Now, oh man, they being lazy. Oh, they don't care about franchise no more. Oh, they're moving away from it. It's like, dude, do you see how much stuff you have in that? I wish Madden had that. I wish I could complain about Madden because of where all the stuff it has, and it needs more. We can't even do that. We can't do that. I had somebody I was chatting with the other day, and they was talking about NBA Live, and they were saying, man, you know what? It'd be cool if they had an NBA Live where if they added a bunch of features to franchise mode, but you could pick what it is that you want to actually manage and maintain. I was like, dog, you know that 2K does that? MLB The Show does that? Does that? All these other games do it. He's like, oh. I was like, that would be a crowning achievement in Live, though. See what I'm saying? But he's like, he actually thought he had something fresh. And that's what I'm saying, though. Because, see, people try to ride with these games, and it's like the depth ain't there. But when you look at these other games, and they give you the depth, and they set new standards and bars and stuff, people are like, oh, snap, dang, they got all this in the game. But because it was already done, they're like, man, they need to do something else. Man, I don't know about that, man. They got, I mean, you know, they got 7 modes in the game they got. But those 7 modes were added 4 years ago. And because they were added those years ago, now it's like, well, what they gonna do new? They got to do something new now. It's got to be something different. And that's my point. You know what I mean? It's like that. You set that bar, and like I said, it's like you're used to living in you're living in Buckingham Palace, and now you're living in a house in the Hamptons. You're like, wait a minute, I can't be seen living out here. I'm like, what do you mean? You're in a house in the Hamptons. It's still a nice spot. Yeah, but it ain't Buckingham Palace. You see what I mean? You gave me something extremely nice, even though what you're giving me is nice, but it's not as nice as you already given me. You spoiled me already. And if you're gonna give me Buckingham Palace, you got to give me twice that now. That's the situation with those other games, not Madden. Oh no, Madden. We just want a decent little house in a nice neighborhood with with 2 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, nice little backyard. We just trying to get that, and then we could talk about upgrading. So we need to see some real progression across the whole board, man. That's what we honestly need to see happen with this game. And like I said, with everything that we're saying, I'm saying, Sim, all that. This ain't got jack to do with a dev, with Rex. Once again, now you guys get to hear what we've been saying basically from an internal thing.
Mm-hmm. For years.
He's telling you guys, years. And we're just like, listen to what he's saying. That's why we come back from the studio and we're like, man, if y'all could just hear what if you could just listen to some of the stuff that he's been saying to us, and we just look at each other and shake our heads. It's crazy because they know what to do and they just need to be empowered to do it. That's all it freaking is, and it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting because the game could be so much better. The game could be so much better than what it is. And I don't know, man. I mean, look, Rex isn't in the building. Yeah. That's the whole thing. He doesn't have influence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So so we can't there's nothing that he can say. And it's like, and that's the part that really was jacked up after I listened to the interview, because I'm thinking it's like he's out the building, but I'm still to an extent I'll be thinking that he is. And I'm like, man, I would love to see Rex implement that. Man, I hope he could do it. And then I'm like, dang, that's right, he ain't in there no more.
Rex had ideas, man. Y'all have no idea. It's so much stuff that I just can't say. Again, I've been telling y'all, it's stuff that should have been in the game. Let me just say this. Many things that we complain about and say that the game lacks has all been on the table. A good amount of it. But a couple things, Smitty, I just wanted to clear up, man, because guys, and Mark E, no, we have not been to EA this year. So this is not, I know a lot of times, you guys have been able to kind of read into how we're talking throughout the progression of the cycle. This ain't one of them situations. I have no concrete idea of what's going on with Madden 20. And obviously, if I did, you guys know, if I had been down there, I still couldn't share with you. But at least I could say, okay, look, we've been there and we're going to see. We can't say that. I have no idea. Now, obviously, there's always a such thing as sources, okay? And there's always a such thing as what you talked about last year that you're expecting for them to do the next year. So do I have an idea of some of the things that might be on the table? Sure. But I don't know. I haven't been in that building. I have no idea. So it's going to be as much of a surprise to me as it may be to you all. Another thing I want to clear up, man. Guys, can we please stop blaming everything on Mutt? Eric Rayweather said something great earlier in the chat, but it's way up there and I can't see it. But he basically said something to the effect of, if the game is really going to change, of course, Mutt is going to have to be a big component of it. Because one thing I think people forget about Smitty with Mutt is that's still gameplay.
Yeah.
And we got the big time guys out here complaining. The W's of the world. I mean, we got these top-notch dudes that are basically saying how bad the game has become. That might have an effect on what the top dogs do. Because if they don't listen to anything else, they definitely listen to the people who are basically the face of the game.
Yep.
And here's another thing about MUT. Every game that Smitty talked about tonight, don't they have a mode that's
Ultimate Team or something like that? Yep, they sure do.
So why do we keep guys? We need to stop saying MUT is the reason why. No, because if that was the case, every one of these games would just be sucking the money out of all of us, and they're supposed to. They are a business. Yeah. I'm never gonna be upset at EA Sports or any company that's trying to get your money and trying to be rich. That's what they're in the business for. But I will be mad at them for giving us a watered down product in the process. At least, I have the pleasure of being able to catch a lot of Smitty streams because he streams during the day. Most of the time I'm just sitting here working from home and I can fire it up and listen and watch, and work at the same time. But just the other day, he was showing you how, and Smitty even said, hey, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I dropped a little bit, not a lot, but I paid a little something for my team because the quality of the game is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who can be mad at that? 2K, no, it's not perfect. And even my man in soft sport drink, I keep saying his name wrong. Soft drink sports.
Yeah, I know, soft drink sports, yeah.
Even he said it. Listen, nobody's saying 2K is perfect. None of these games are perfect. But the level of depth that's in 2K and MLB, you can deal with the quote unquote game problems. Like, oh, this is just a video game. You can deal with those things because the game has so much to offer. And that's our whole point, man. We got to stop giving Madden the pass of just saying it's because all they care about is MUT. No, that ain't the reason why. It's because what did Rex say? What can we sell? Think about what y'all are saying out your own mindset. MUT sells itself every year. Think about that. They don't need it. The top dogs don't need to come up with a plan to sell MUT. It's going to sell. The fact that they're continuing to add cards, it will always sell. But what Rex said and what we can agree to, because we've been there, the top dogs want to know, how do we get more units out? Mm-hmm. How do we bring in more players? Think about that. Brand new players that have no idea about MUT. They want to sell units. You sell. So that even when they come up with these schemes, it ain't all centered around MUT. Now, of course, you have the MUT team that's like, okay, what else can we come up with? That's what they're supposed to do. See, unlike a lot of you guys, I'm not even mad at that. Why wouldn't they do that? Every game it does. They're the creator of that, of Ultimate Team, pretty much.
Yeah.
But if we're going to say that, we got to look at FIFA and compare it apples to apples, and we can't. FIFA sells way more copies, makes way more money, yet the authenticity of that game for the most part is there. And they got MUT. So I'm sorry. I just see the MUT argument are totally different. Yeah, I do agree. Of course they care about making the money, but they are not going to get away with saying, well, we focus so much on MUT, then we can't. No. It ain't that much focus on MUT the way you can't make the game play better.
But see, the thing is, they got 3. See, that's the other part. The other caveat, too, is that they have 3 studios working on that game. 3 studios work on it. Tiburon is 1. Yeah. Only 1 for Madden. Madden needs that kind of attention. They need another studio. Just like what they're doing with Live. They got a secondary studio. They said that like around the time when Live 19 was getting ready to drop. We got this studio in Madrid or whatever. They're working on the game too, so now we got this new studio. Bet. Okay, cool. We need to see Madden have that kind of support too. Like, they need to have additional studio support, and in terms of having that game being built out across studios and not just having teams in one building. They need more hands on deck, because then that goes back to like what I was saying earlier about being able to fix core problems. Like, you could have devs say, hey, I got this special project for you guys. y'all gonna work on this, that, and the third for a few years. You know what I mean? Or whatever, to get this issue rectified in terms of the core game. We're gonna build it out, but this is your pet project right here to focus on these core problems of the game. I'm gonna give y'all the list, and this is the stuff that you guys got to work on as far as core is concerned. That's it. And then you just keep it trucking. We gonna work on Madden 20, Madden 21, whatever. And you have your devoted team of guys that that are gonna work on that. You're able to do that when you got more hands on deck instead of just having a few. That's huge. So, that's something that needs to happen in regards to Madden, man. They gotta expand that, because it's not gonna hit off of just one team. It's not.
They gotta let these dudes develop, man. And it's Eric had another great comment, basically summarizing what I said. EA invests more money into the back of the box features than they do into MUT. MUT players are always going to return. The investment more into things like long shot to attract new people. And he also said, people do not buy the game for MUT. This is what we're trying to tell y'all, man. Stop using MUT as the convenient, that's why they're not innovating. No, it's very simple. Rex didn't say that. Rex put it out there. They don't really care. Rex even went so far to say in his own streams back in the day, I deal with people that don't know football. They don't know the importance of why we should do this to make this better. Did you hear what he said in the W interview? They completely shot down his attempt to make the core gameplay better, which would keep... Here's Rex's philosophy in a nutshell. Rex always felt like your hardcore gamer, a hardcore fan of your franchise, is the one that will attract new players. Make your core base happy, and if you build it, they will come. They didn't agree with that philosophy. They want to try all this stupid stuff like long shot. And y'all know who in the face of an executive told them it was a bad idea? Yes, me. I was one of many in that room that stood up. And it's a room full of devs, and a couple execs was in there. They asked their honest opinion, and I stood right up there and said, this is a bad idea. Okay, why? Okay, here's the reason why. I told them, look at what your competition is doing. I said, let's take my mind and and Shop's mind and Sean Mason and Bobby. I'm just naming guys who were there. Ronnie was at that one. Take our mind away from it. Take our franchise love away from it. And let's look at what the competition is doing. Why has 2K blown up so much? One reason would be my career, my player. Ding, ding, ding. That's the number one reason. And then what did they do off of my career? They build this robust franchise mode behind it. So I said, the reason why this long shot ain't going to work is you didn't even do that. What you should have done is, if anything, you should have brought back superstar mode. And again, I'm not speaking for us hardcore franchise guys. We want franchise. I want both. If I want to play superstar, let me. But at the same time, this is how I feel. This is what connected franchise should have been and should be going forward. Superstar and robust franchise. They are all connected, just like they tried to do with connected franchise, right? So somebody could still be, play as a superstar, and then you could play my team, how they have built their infrastructure. And the reason why I say do it like that, so there's no missing features. If it's in superstar mode, it should be in standard franchise. You see what I mean? That would be the way I would have done it. So I stood up there and I told them, you're putting a telltale story in there. That ain't gonna work. Casual fans want to build their player. And again, I was like, I'm speaking from outside of my own mind. I want franchise and gameplay to rule everything. But I was saying, if you guys were trying to attract new people, you have to follow the wave of 2K and road to the show and your own game. Be a pro is in FIFA. I was like, you know why FIFA's is going to work? Because you have Be a Pro is separate. You have a pretty decent franchise. Can't really say. I don't play soccer, so I don't know how deep their franchise technically is in terms of, authenticity and all. But I know that they have Be a Pro and they had the Journey. That's why the Journey was so successful. But just like Rex told y'all, they saw how successful that was, and all they saw was dollar signs. Oh, we got to put that in Madden right now. And now it's no secret. Long shot was not supposed to be in Madden when it came. That was something that they just compulsive reaction or impulse reaction, and we got to get something like the Journey. And they threw it in there. Just a huge mistake, man. But you know what, Smitty, man, since we sitting at about 18 minutes left, and guys, we probably won't get to the cards tonight, man. We've gone a little long. Chris Thomas will definitely get you in next week, man. If we have the pleasure of having you view us again, I definitely want to give you that time. But with us having to cut out at 10 o'clock, man, we got to be a little brief. But I want to move into the next topic, which is basically still the same topic. But real quick, man, some of you guys may have seen the article that came out about Frostbite. I think Kotaku had it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you had some developers saying how much they didn't like it, and, all of the problems that has happened with Anthem, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll just be quick with this because I want Smitty to take a lot of this, topic because, I know he'll probably go a little deeper than me. But I want to say this part about it, Smitty. So many people keep saying or keep believing. Stop believing everything you see and read. Didn't Jay-Z tell y'all that years ago? You know what I'm saying? Stop believing everything you hear and everything you see. And he said, even if it's spat by me. That was a metaphor. He was letting you know, dog, have your own mind and your own opinion. Why are so many people jumping on this wave of, see, that's why Madden ain't good because of the Frostbite problems? Bruh. When did Frostbite come to Madden? Madden 18. So y'all gonna sit here and tell me that you believe that all of the problems is because of Frostbite? Are you serious? How long have we been complaining about the game? I mean, at least, I'll even be a little modest, Smitty. At least since Madden 13, we've been complaining about the same problems over and over and over. I'm talking about just gameplay stuff, not even innovation. But now y'all ready to believe that it's because of Frostbite? Y'all need to stop, man. Dog, if I was like a shady person, I would show some of the tweets for some people that I deem as, like legit people in this community. And I'm like, no, you're not telling me that you falling for that. I get all of the whole Frostbite talk and it wasn't necessarily intended for sports games and all that. Okay, so why didn't it hit FIFA the same way it hit Madden then? I'm just saying that kind of proves my point. Whether Madden took a hit or FIFA took a hit or not, it could have. But why didn't FIFA feel the effects that Madden is feeling if Frostbite is the problem? You know why? Because FIFA's core was intact. That's my point.
Oh.
Madden has been suffering for years with gameplay. Same gameplay stuff we saw in 13, man. We still see some of them same bugs. Oh, man. What's your thoughts on the whole thing, Smitty? Just everything that we read about Frostbite and Anthem and, devs saying that they don't like the tool and all of that.
Yeah, it's built like what basically Frostbite was built for shooters. It wasn't necessarily.
Hold on, Smitty. Real quick, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I want you to address what Ray just said, because I saw this too. People that are trying to convince me is because Madden has more players on the field. But where I would challenge that is, dog, we're talking about just core fundamentals. We're not talking about we're not going to act like Madden is that much bigger than the game where it's that many problems versus FIFA. What's your thoughts on that, man?
I'm not giving you. See, the thing is, I'm not giving you that argument. I'm not giving you that. Madden on Gen 2 is arguably a better quality game than what we have now. I can't give you that. So while the problem of the game is from the core, and I get that it's core problems and core issues and everything. Let's stop with the whole. Oh, but it's difficult though. It's difficult. It's a higher learning curve. Once again, FIFA has 3 studios that are working on that one project. 3. Madden, only 1. So I can only imagine if Madden had 3 studios working on the game, where it would be at. So and also understand this too. With FIFA, I mean, yes, FIFA also has patches and tuners and stuff that roll the game backwards. Yeah, they do it to FIFA too. And see, just like I shown yesterday when I streamed FIFA, all that beautiful play, that the game was nerfed. You know what I'm saying? They've nerfed that game. And yet, look at all the gameplay that's there. So yes, that's why I said if I was a soccer diehard, like crazy, excuse me, I would have some things to say in terms of fundamentals and things like that. But if I'm gonna compare game to game, no, FIFA is without question the better quality product. It is the better game. Okay, over Madden at this point. So I'll say that. But
we're not saying, real quick, Smitty, we're not saying the game is perfect, and y'all are absolutely right. I can't speak on the level of authenticity in terms of how it truly replicates soccer, because me and Smitty spoke to, I forget his name now, but one of the guys who actually played in the tournament when we was in LA. We had chopped it up with him for a bit, and he kind of alluded to that. Bates in 87, I had a conversation with him, and he basically was like, oh, it ain't as sim as you guys be thinking. But what we're talking about is functionality. When you hear Smitty and I compare FIFA to Madden, we're solely talking about player movement, ball physics, player interaction, and physical nature between players, uncanned animation, and how things play out organically. That's all we're talking about. I could not tell you how real it is in terms of is this authentic tempo or formation, or I cannot speak on that. I call it soccer. The diehards call it football. So right. I couldn't tell you. So that's what we're talking about when we compare the two games, just how it functions. Miles ahead of Madden in that area.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. So like when you look at Frostbite, and like I said, how that engine is basically for shooters. It's not truly built out for open world games, mass scale, all that stuff. So it has to be tailored to that in order to work. But this is the one thing I will say this, as far as just saying this real quick. Anthem coming out the way it came out, I'm sorry. BioWare completely dropped the ball there. That one I can't put on you can't put that one on EA. Because EA gave them the funding, gave them the time period. Them boys sat on their hands until basically it was crunch time, and then they decided to go to work on it. How do you go to E3 and literally look up on screen, and then now the dev team's like, oh, that's the game we're going to be making. Oh, they're going to be able to fly around. Oh, they're going to be able to do this. Oh, they're going to be able to do that. And they said everything you're seeing is running in-game at real time. That's what was promoted. And look at the game they got. See what I'm saying? So, but Frostbite and all the hardships that they've had with the game, using that engine, using that platform. See, this once again, it's like corporate decision made to try and be cheap. you know what I mean, or cheaper, or being more economical in-house. Hey, you know what? We got this in-house tech that we've been using. Let's go ahead and take that Battlefield and just retrofit it for all these other games. And the thing is, they need a lot more time. God bless you. They need a lot more time
Thanks.
to build that out, to make it truly work the way that it could and should work. They can't do it, you know. Like if Anthem had another year of making that Frostbite transition, if Madden had another year of making that transition. Now, even if they did, it's still going to have them issues that we've been complaining about. You see what I'm saying? It still will have those problems. They still have to work on getting those problems rectified. It just adds another obstacle putting it on that platform. You see what I'm saying? Putting it on that Frostbite platform. So, excuse me. So I mean, the hardship from that, man, and see, and once again, that's another aspect of the whole development problem and investing in the team and all that stuff. I only have but so many resources. Yeah, but I got these problems due to us being on Frostbite. Oh, well, you're gonna have to work it out somehow. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just speaking hypothetical, but it's like that's what happens because of going on that platform, using that Frostbite platform. Things may not be in the best condition in order for them to have made that move to Frostbite. And then, hey, you still got core problems with your game that need to be addressed, and you moved all that over to Frostbite. Heck, in a minute we're gonna be going from this generation of consoles to a whole nother new console generation, and we still sitting here.
Yep, and that's another excuse they try to use, or even the community. No, they gonna have to wait till they get on the next gen. Why ain't none of these other games had to wait, man?
Exactly.
I'm tired of hearing that. I know this is not a sports title, but a console that can produce Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Stop it, man. You're not gonna tell me that it's because of the console limitations. They and EA and Smitty knows this. They have tried to feed that to us. Upper management, oh, it's because we. Yes, you can. I don't believe that. They would have to physically show me that they can't do something. I don't believe that. These other games ain't having no problem. Look at all of the depth in 2K. Like, even take the gameplay off the table. Look at every single thing that they have thrown in that product. And you're telling me that Madden can't handle something? Y'all can't handle contracts? Y'all can't handle, scouting, real scouting, all that kind of stuff that you had. Oh, here's the kicker. Y'all, you can't handle on this generation what you once had on PS2. Okay. And they got some of us believing that, Smitty, because some of us still say that it's going to have to wait until it gets to the next gen. No. We have to stop that, guys. And again, if I'm talking about you, I'm sorry. We have to stop using the excuse of it's because of MUT solely and the excuse of they can't do it on this console. I'm not hearing that no more. They won't do it. Rex just told us. It ain't no. Well, Rex just told y'all. We know. They just won't do it. It ain't that they can't. They just refuse to invest. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. Shame. Very sad. Very sad part of it, man. And that's just the sad reality, and that's what I'm saying. It's and it's not the engine that's the problem. Rex said that he didn't say that in that interview, but Rex said that to us verbatim. We was in the building, and he told us, he's like, the problem's not the engine. It's just that he's like, the engine's fine. He's like, it's like having a beautiful house, but there's a lot of wiring and stuff like that that's problematic, that needs to be fixed. And see, that's the whole thing. If they were actually like, see, that's why I always keep that stuff in mind and be thinking about that, because I'm like, what if those issues or the bad wiring that he was talking about, what if they were actually able to fix those problems? What if they're able to actually address the wiring problems? Then what? Then where would it be at this point? You see what I'm saying? So that's why hard to tell. You see what I mean? That's always going to be a what if, up in the air kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? And that's sad. It's sad. Because I can only imagine where they could possibly take this game. That's why Rex says his crowning achievement game, excuse me, was NCAA 14. Great franchise mode, death, all that.
Yep, all that dynasty mode. I mean, come on, all of that. What generation was that? And just to comment real quick on Kyle's comment. Let's not get confused though, because I'm gonna be honest, and me and Smitty have said this a million times. Sometimes when people say the NCAA was the best football game, and again, everybody's opinion is different, so I'm not going to sit here and act like just because I feel a certain way, it's the gospel. If some people do feel like that was the best football game they ever played. But here's where the line blurs to me. NCAA 14 had the same gameplay problems as Madden 25. The same exact. It's the same engine. It was the same exact game. The only thing that was different is how they programmed it. As far as, letting it be looser in certain areas because it's college football. We sat right in that studio. Remember that when they was showing us and they was having that tournament? Man, it was some of the craziest stuff you would ever seen in NCAA. But, I mean, again, it's part of that is nostalgia. Because NCAA is no longer there, a lot of people will go back and say it was the best game. But even when Rex talks about it, he's talking top to bottom. He's not just completely talking about the gameplay. He says he doesn't feel like he's made a complete game as good as NCAA. And like my man says here, the one cut was in Madden 25. This is what I'm saying. All of it's the same engine. It's don't fool yourselves to think that the gameplay was it's the same engine that was running in that year's Madden. I promise you. Same gameplay team even. It's just oh man, I don't know. And that's the mystery. All that coaching carousel and stuff, where is it?
Right.
Where is it? Why did it take so long for us to get coaching adjustments? Where is composure? I mean, that to me was a no-brainer when you introduced Living Worlds. Oh, I thought for sure you're going to borrow composure from NCAA, so when I'm in Seattle or I'm at Arrowhead, a bunch of stuff in NCAA still that we don't have. Scouting. That scouting system?
Yeah.
And like Kia said, they had different and I will give you that, because Kia broke NCAA down as good as anybody. It had different formations. It did have spacing, better spacing, and things like that. But I'm just saying, and see, I listen, and this is no disrespect, but I definitely will listen to a person like Kia when he says, because Kia comes with different facts. He doesn't just say, "Oh, it was better." You know what I'm saying? Most people are not talking about that. They're just talking about the gameplay. And I'm like, no, but guys, it's the same engine. Some of them same animations that we saw in the Infinity engine and Physics 2.0 was in NCAA. It's the same engine. But there were things that were a little different in there. And like y'all talk about momentum and all of that, it was the same engine. Madden had that too. Like, go back and play Madden 25 or whichever one came out with NCAA. Play the two together, and you'll start seeing, oh yeah, very similar. But again, like Kia said, Some of the different offenses and formations and, the spacing, those things were different because they did design the game a little different for it to feel like college. We're just talking about the core underneath stuff. Again, interactions and stuff like that. That's what we're talking about. Same game.
Yep.
No different.
Yep. So.
Insta sheds. Yep, all of that. You're right.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Hey. Right.
I don't know nothing. I don't know why I keep saying tough. I know nothing.
And see, this is the other thing too. Basically, to cap it off with, NCAA 14 is heralded so high because there's no more.
Yep.
It's not because that game was just epic. Because remember, look, there were a lot of people that were very flaky about NCAA 14, and then once they found out there was no 15, and now the whole NCAA situation popped off, those same exact people, man, this NCAA 14 is lit. This game is on point. It's this, that, and the third. I'm like, yeah, because ain't nothing else there. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the game's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. But what I'm saying though is that there were some people that were very flaky about it, and then all of a sudden now they just hard to the core. This game is legit. This is a joint right here. Like, nah, man. Nah. You know what I'm saying? It was that's I get it, but it's like, because you miss the fact that there ain't another one coming. Now it's, oh man, this game is beautiful. This game's amazing. What are you talking about? This game was great all along. Like, but you weren't saying that though a few months ago until you found out it was over.
Nah, exactly.
So, so there it is. So that's what I'm just saying. I'm not cheapening the value, but, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't blame Rex for saying that's the best production that he's worked on.
It was.
Because it was like, yeah.
Top to bottom, it was.
Yeah.
He is absolutely right.
Yep. Better franchise mode than Madden, coaching elements, all that good stuff. Better than Madden right now. Can't make an argument on that. So.
And didn't NCAA 14, I think, didn't it have more staff? Like, it wasn't just the head. Yeah.
Yeah, your coordinators and stuff, and they had coaching trees and all that.
Oh, God.
All that in there.
Oh, man. You would think that would have came along with schemes. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
But guys, we could definitely continue this conversation. I'm running a little over 10, so I got to get out of here. But I'm going to leave you guys with this. And Smitty probably has seen it already. I'm not going to say any names and all of that because, again, a lot of this stuff is supposed to be private, where, we have discussions with, other people in the program and game changers and et cetera, et cetera. And, who said this will probably, maybe, I don't know if they watch this, they might hear this and they'll know I'm talking about them, and I'm not ashamed of that because I would tell this person this in their face. So there's a counter to what Smitty posted, in our back office chat room about that video. And again, go check it out, guys. It's in the description. Soft Drink Sports. Watch that video. And the reply that I see here basically says that they agree with one statement. No one should be sourcing Gen 2 to showcase anything now. Do y'all see the problem with that kind of statement versus what me and Smitty are saying? The reality of that comment is he's absolutely right, but he don't even know why he's right. Because, that's kind of a vague statement, so he could be agreeing, but we've had the same battles with this person where they would tell us, oh, well, we just have to move on. So I don't know if he's officially agreeing. So I'll just say this. That is our whole point. You shouldn't be able to showcase anything from Gen 2 15 years or so ago in a Madden product, or let's say, I don't know if it's been almost 15 years since what? Madden 05.
15 years, yeah.
You shouldn't be able to do that in 2K5. And I mean, maybe you could say the 2K19 versus Madden 19, there could be something that one doesn't have. Great. That's the beauty of competition. But we should not be looking at Madden 05, 2K5, or NFL and anything from the past and show where it was in that game and it doesn't exist in Madden 19. That is a problem. And if anybody disagrees with that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. We're just not on the same page. Point blank, period. And we will never agree. There's nothing for us to discuss. If you can't clearly see why that's a problem, hey, I don't know what to tell you, dog. I don't know what to tell you. But what I am going to tell you right now is I'm going to get out of here. I have to get myself ready for my long commute in the morning. You know, thank God I only do it one day a week, so I cannot complain. I'm blessed to be able to work from home 4 days a week, so I can take my lazy butt into the office one day a week, even if it is in DC. Yeah, you know, it's a super long commute, but it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Smitty stepped away. I believe he's handling something there, so I'll go ahead and sign us out. Appreciate tonight, man. Good viewership, good comments. Eric Rayweather, man, I appreciate you coming through. Guys, go support what he's doing over there, man. You know, and regardless of whether, you know, that's for anybody. You know, you might not agree with everything I say. You might not agree with everything they say. But most of us we're always going to come back right in the middle, and there's certain things that we all agree on. So go support that. You know, great video that he posted today, talking about the Rex interview. So if you just want to get a quick gist of it, his video is about 18 minutes long. Go check it out, man. Some great stuff, great information there, and there you have it. So we're going to get out of here. We'll catch you guys next week. Have a great weekend. I believe the NBA playoff starts this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off on that a few days, but I believe it's about to start up. So if it is over the weekend, good luck to your teams. Sit back and relax. Have a great time. And guys, please be safe out there. We'll catch you guys next week. All right, until next time, God bless. Catch y'all later. Peace.